Thanks, Dave. Well, it's what we've been talking about this morning and what we'll probably be talking about all day long. Tensions in the Ford cabinet. The premier is calling out his own finance minister, saying it is completely unacceptable that Rod Phillips made the decision to go on a Caribbean vacation to St. Bart's during a global pandemic. A statement from Ontario Finance Minister Rod Phillips says immediately following the end of the legislative session, which occurred on December 8th, my wife and I departed on a previously planned personal trip outside the country. Had I been aware then of the eventual December 26th province-wide shutdown, we would have canceled the trip. Well, Premier Doug Ford says he is disappointed in the minister's decision. In a statement that reads in part, he says, I have let the minister know that his decision to travel is completely unacceptable and that it will not be tolerated again by him or any member of our cabinet and caucus. I've also told the minister I need him back in the country immediately. But the deputy leader of the NDP tells our Melissa Nicovelli this should have never happened in the first place.
Everyday Ontarians are staying home, but they're following the public health expectations and rules, not jet setting across the country or to other parts of the world. And I think that the premier should be accountable, and the buck truly does stop with him. This is a member of his team. He should be accountable for their actions as well.
Public health officials say no one should travel outside the country unless it is absolutely essential. The minister's office says Phillips is still in St. Bart's and is now making arrangements to return to Ontario immediately. He will begin a 14-day quarantine as soon as he arrives. We'll hear your thoughts on the controversy on today's You Sound Off. Send us your comments at feedback@breakfasttelevision.ca or tweet us at BT Toronto. Meantime, the province is reporting a single-day record of 2,553 new COVID-19 cases. Though it should be noted the numbers could be skewed due to reporting delays over the holidays. 41 deaths are being confirmed. Our active case count is now nearly 19,900. We'll have a closer look at the data at around 6:45 this morning. Now, with the province still facing criticism over closing COVID-19 vaccination centers over the holidays, the head of the task force now says that was a mistake, and they aim to have 8.5 million people immunized in phase 2 of the rollout by the end of January.
We've heard the voices of the people of Ontario saying, get on with this, and that's what we are going to do. I think we can get to a lot of mainstream Ontario by later July. Certainly in phase 2, we will get at a lot of the people in Ontario who don't have underlying conditions, who are not the most vulnerable, who are not most at risk.
Some 50,000 doses of the Moderna vaccine are expected to arrive in Ontario today. They'll be distributed to long-term care and retirement homes within days. Now, that's part of phase 1 of the rollout to inoculate more than 1 million people by April. The province is expected to provide more details of the distribution at a news conference this afternoon. Well, this year, New Year's celebrations will likely be the least glamorous in decades, with Ontario still on lockdown due to the pandemic. So most celebrations will likely happen virtually this year, with all outdoor special events, including New Year's Eve at Nathan Phillips Square, canceled. Indoor organized public events and social gatherings also not permitted, except with members of the same household. All restaurants and bars are only available to offer takeout, drive-through, or delivery. And all concert venues, theaters, and cinemas, they're all still closed. So how will the holiday lockdown impact Ontario's rising numbers? We'll discuss that, plus the latest on the province's vaccine plan with Dr. Isaac Bogosh when he joins us later at 7:30 this morning. And an interesting fallout from the pandemic, a new poll suggests it's made Canadians more grateful for what they have. The poll from Leger and the Association for Canadian Studies found 56% of respondents felt more grateful. But that differed by age, with 2/3 of people aged 55 and older feeling more grateful, while less than half of people under 35 felt the same way. The reasons? Spending more time with family, saving money, paying off debt, and commuting less.